So, like, to start with the mouth, like the stars, that's something like, when I think of stars, I think of like Hollywood and fakeness, and how so much of the things that I say
Ego.
are trying to please other people. Like, I don't really say how I really feel, so it's like covering up what I mean. And like the same thing with like the crosses over the eyes. I'm in recovery right now, and a big part of recovery, especially if you're working the program, is spirituality. And it's also the biggest thing I struggle with. Like, I feel like if I could get a hold of the spirituality part, that I'd be able to stay sober. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like the main things, I put it over there. And like the same thing with like the feathers on the top, like my silly side, how I keep it away from like all the realness down below. And it just...
Wait, say that one more time, the feather, the silliness?
Yeah, it's like I don't really let people see my silly side. I'm always so serious, and like I hide everything.
The intense part.
Yeah, and it's like, so it just means a lot to me to like have it here, but like the swirls on the top, that's more like I get really scatterbrained a lot, and it's hard for me to say how I feel, and that's like all the swirls around and like, you know, like things like that, and like I use a lot of different colors over the eyes to represent like you see different things, like a lot of different filters and ways like that, and there's like lots of layers and things. So yeah.
The first thing that I saw when I looked at were the crosses over the eyes. So when you speak of spirituality and religion, are they the same?
No, they're not. Because I consider myself, or I'm trying to be spiritual, but not necessarily religious. I have a hard time believing that a God would smite you or be angry with you because you made a mistake. But I feel like the universe and spirituality is like, it makes more sense to me, especially like how I feel in my heart. And that's why people say they have a spiritual awakening after they complete the 12 steps of like AA. And I'm working on that right now, and that's what I want the most, is I want this spiritual awakening so bad, and I'm working on it so hard.
What about the colors, the purples?
The purple, it's one of my favorite
just
colors.
Your favorite color?
Yeah, and I like it a lot. I like all like the different shades of it as well, and with the gold, it's aesthetically pleasing to me. So
it would really be cool if, while you have that mask up there, if you give that description next to it, because when you look at the stars on the mouth, I never would have thought that's what that's about. You're speaking to please other people.
Yeah, I actually submitted it with a 2-page description, so maybe that's why they didn't include it with it. But maybe they could have shrunk it down. But yeah, thank you though, I appreciate it. I worked very hard.
Can I give it?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I also have the unicorn box over there. The unicorn box. Yeah. The unicorn copia. That's what I named it. Yeah. These are more molds that you take and then you paint. Whereas like these ones are molds. So.
Is that yours too?
No, this is just the. So I feel like that's more how usually I'm more happy all the time. Like people don't realize that I have a lot of things I'm struggling with from the, just from the outside.
Can I ask you a little bit? You don't have to answer if you don't want to. Is this helping you with your
Absolutely.
The addiction?
Yeah, absolutely. I look forward to art. I take as many art classes as I can, and I'm in the DOM right now. I'm getting ready to discharge this week.
And 43?
Yep. Not 43, 123.
Oh, 123.
Yep. And I'm going to be joining the VRC in Building 43. And the first thing I asked is for an art class, because before I got to the DOM, I didn't do any art. I didn't consider myself an artist. Like I was in the Army. I'm like, oh, I'm this tough person. I don't need art. And now I'm doing it, and it's like my favorite thing that I get to do while I'm there. My favorite part of therapy is the art.
So when you leave the DOM, can art become part of your life?
I hope it does.
I mean, as a profession or a skill or a trade or something?
Do you think like to make money, or just like for a hobby?
I don't think you'd want to, obviously from your mask, you don't want to translate that into money, but could you have the art that's therapeutic for you, and then also work in art as a living to make money?
I would love to do that if it's possible.
Or work at the museum or something?
Yeah, that's something I would like to do, or even like the art therapists they have in Building 43, like if I could work with them, and help other veterans, to understand it, that'd be something I'd love to do. That'd be amazing.
Are you aware of the VA's peer mentoring program?
I've heard a little bit about it, because in the DOM we do have somebody who's there who plays pool with us in different games. So I would love to do something like that. That'd be awesome. Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, speak with Shemp about that.
What's that?
Speak with Shemp about that, because that would be. I mean, you have the personality that would make an excellent peer.
Oh, thank you.
Because you're willing to talk about it.
Yeah.
And you know, because of your mask, that there was a time when you didn't.
Yeah, absolutely. No, thank you very much. Actually, I'll look into that because I didn't realize you could do it for more than just like, because we only had the one person. I didn't realize it went beyond just the Dom, you know, like there are other things out there. So, no, that'd be really cool.
Where did you serve in the military?
When I first enlisted, I was at Fort Stewart, Georgia. I did.
In the Army?
Yep, I was in the Army for 9 years. I did 2 tours overseas.
Did you really?
Yeah. I started out in logistics and then I switched to allied trades, so like machining and welding. But then actually when I was running a grenade range, my aorta collapsed from concussion, waves from grenades, and I had emergency open heart surgery. So I got medical now. I was going to be in for 20 years. Yeah, I got my zipper scar that starts here and goes down to here. I got implanted cardiac device, so I've been through quite a bit.
Wow. And the grenade range that you ran, was that in the Army or?
Yeah, that was in the Army.
Not in your
so it's service
backyard when you were
connected, so I'm like, because otherwise it would have been a really expensive helicopter, right? You know, I wouldn't have been able to afford that.
Wow. Well, you've been through a lot.
Yeah, I think most veterans have.
And the open heart, was that military related?
It was a combination of it. So it's something really rare. It's a sinus-valve aneurysm that ruptured. So it's like when people are in a car accident or they have blunt force trauma to the chest, it causes that part of the heart to rupture. So that's what happened to me. So the windstop deformity, or the part that's left over from the ruptured aneurysm, actually flowed down into my valve, which would normally people have a tricuspid valve, but it's tri because it's like 3 like that. I was born with a deformity, and I have a quadricuspid valve, so mine's like that. So when I had the aneurysm rupture, it compromised the structural integrity of the valve, and my aorta, in layman's terms, collapsed in on itself. And I'm one of 3 people in history to have what I have, and like they've written papers about me at Cambridge University. You can like look it up online and stuff. So it's kind of So it's a combination of environmental and just being born with like genetics.
Aren't you glad they can do all that though?
Hell yeah! Otherwise, this would have happened like 40. Or I don't even know how many years ago. I wouldn't be alive. Not at all. So it's just crazy. It feels like that was like lifetimes ago. Yeah. Like my birthday was on Friday. I turned 31. And I feel like I'm 90. Like I feel like I lived all these different lives. Like, are you a veteran yourself?
Oh yeah.
So you know, like when you're overseas, it feels like back home isn't real, and it just the only life you have is like being there. And then like when you come home, then it feels like overseas was kind of like just this really bad dream. So it feels like my open heart surgery was this bad dream, but it's like at the same time like also like a different life. I don't know. So I'm 31, but I feel like I've lived 5 lives.
Okay, so now we get to the critical question, if I could ask you. Mm-hmm. So was that overwhelming to you, and so the drinking and everything else? But how do you get to the point where, okay, that's not a lot, it's my life, I embrace it?
So I think that's one of the reasons why I struggled with spirituality, because I was supposed to have died. The doctors told me they don't know why I didn't die. So at that point, I thought that I was an anomaly. Like I wasn't supposed to be alive. Therefore, the universe was going to not accept me anymore. So all these bad things were going to happen. So I started taking it out on myself, and I didn't think there was anything left.
Self-destruction.
Yeah. So I started drinking and I started using because I felt like that was my only choice.
Are you okay talking about that?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
It's just rough. Even went through therapy, but I can talk about it now when before I wasn't able to talk about it. So that's nice.
So you started using to hide all of it, to bury all it, to avoid it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, but now I look at it as a miracle, not so much as a anomaly.
So if you get tired of the question, just tell me. But I'm fascinated because a lot of us have been through something similar.
Yeah.
But when you were in Dom 123, did you meet people who had similar experiences or similar thinking? Or?
Absolutely. Actually, I met another guy who had open heart surgery. Not what I had, but like he'd been through kind of like the same processes that and like it's a therapeutic environment, and that's what like Dr. Carlson, who's the Dom manager, that's what she says all the time. It's like you can go through treatment, but unless you're talking to people who are going through it at the same time, it's like empathy versus sympathy. You know, you can talk to someone who like can try to relate, and then you can talk to someone who's been through it, and that's a huge difference. And like I love everyone that I've been there to treatment with, even the people who have like been more difficult to deal with and stuff. But yeah,
but that's life.
Yeah, and the camaraderie, and we're all soldiers. We all understand. It makes it a lot easier. So like, I don't know what I've done without the Dom. I don't think I'd be alive right now, honestly.
Without Dom 123.
Yeah.
But isn't that amazing when you find somebody else who has similar experiences? You too?
I always describe it as like you're in a foreign country and you find the only other person in that country that speaks English. You're gonna get together, you're gonna stick together. Yeah.
Or likes hamburgers.
Yeah, exactly. You know, things like that. So yeah.
Wow, what a great experience.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
What a great spokesperson you are for
Thank
for
you.
all of this. Seriously,
Thank
for the
you.
readjustment.
I appreciate that.